Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. Got an awesome package to open. As you will probably see me opening up a few more packages coming up, only because I did recently cash out my entire crypto holding account and shifted it all into other things. And some of that other things is gold and silver. So we have a pretty cool package opening to open. I said I really didn't want to pay, since I've been stacking for a long time, I didn't really want to pay over $30 an ounce. However, obviously, when you cash out one asset and you move stuff into other assets, you've got to do something. I don't want to get stuck with currency that's a hot potato, essentially. I believe that money is just that. It's a tool. It's a way for us to work or do something for somebody else and get essentially some sort of money, whether that's fiat, whether that's silver, gold, whatever, something that's going to make our life better. We do something so we can get something. And essentially that's where the whole work thought process came in. So I know some people might be like, why would you not want to buy everything in silver? You know, I picking up a bunch more with everything going on. I think silver has an amazing room to run. We got a good pullback. I saw the pullback, and on top of that, it was over a weekend, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity and essentially buy. Now, I'll be honest, this weekend is a little bit lower, but not lower by a whole lot. We're talking lower by maybe a quarter or 30 cents. So multiply that by what's in this extremely heavy package. It does make a difference, but at the end of the day, I'm in it for the long haul. Gold and silver, I think, will be with us for a while. Those of us that are really hardcore stackers believe in it. Now, what are my long-term goals? Obviously, I don't like paying too high over spot, but I love that it's going up, because every ounce that maybe you see here or that you've seen in my collection, I've picked up a lot cheaper. And I think it's just opportunity that we're going to continue to see it go up, because the truth of the matter is things don't really feel... I got a horrible knife. I know someone's going to say something. They're going to be like, dude, what in the world is up with that knife? I need to take it to my buddy over at Max Barbecue and have him sharpen it for me. That way I'm not like sitting here trying to grab it with two hands. So let's bust this open. We'll take a look at what's in here. Boom. And I should have brought a pair of scissors, because the knife doesn't always cut very well. Someone's going to be like, dude, you're cutting an envelope, and that knife does not even want to do that. It's probably easier just for me to rip it. So what are y'all's thoughts now? Silver, we've seen a little bit of a pullback. I love hearing people's opinions. I talk to some people, and they tell me, you know, oh, they're kind of nervous. They're nervous. Are we going back down? Is it a temporary thing? Is it a long-term thing? What's going on? You know, the truth of the matter for me, I'm not in this for an overnight thing. I'm not trying to get rich quick overnight. I expect that gold and silver are going to play an increased part of everything going on. And what we've seen recently with India taking custody of a ton of gold, I think is just a sign of what's coming down the line. When you know that you're about ready to offend somebody or do something that somebody don't like, what's the first thing you want to do? You want to make sure that you're secure. I'll be honest, if I'm going to do something that I know could upset someone, I want to make sure there's not many options for retaliation. And I think that a lot of these countries know there is potential of retaliation coming. And so they're positioning themselves. Now, I know someone might be like, what do you mean retaliation? Well, you take what happened overseas. Russia ended up going into Ukraine. And yeah, normally I don't talk much about keywords, but at this point, I'm like, dude, I don't know what happened with YouTube. YouTube, I did a video the other day with Pew Pew in it. Some of y'all may have seen it. And all of a sudden, my views just plunged. I'm talking plunged. I've never seen it drop like that. I was like, what the heck? You go from 1,000 views a day to 20 or 30. I think my video the other day had 60. I was like, what in the world? And probably 5 of them were from me. Yeah, I watch my own videos once they go up. I know some people are like, what? Really? But yeah, I do. So we got, this is 100 Morgans. So let's take a look here at one a little closer. Had to take a quick minute and get a glove. I know somebody out there is probably going to be like, why do you need a glove? Because it's a bullion coin. But I try to really limit putting my hands on it. So you can see it is pretty. They're heavy. They're nice. And I picked up 100 of them. Picked them up at a great deal. I ended up having to buy 100. That's kind of why I got a good deal. I know someone's going to be like, why is your glove all ripped? You know what? I'm not going to buy a new glove every time I put them on my big hands. So, beautiful coin, though. I'm a firm believer what's happening is essentially a weakening of the dollar. It's people are playing against us. They're tired of some of the stuff that the United States has done. And for that reason, they're watching us. Everybody is watching us now. They're watching us try to, I mean, what used to be a solid system of rules and laws, it seems like it's slowly going downhill. You know, we're trying to, you know, I hate to get into politics. You know, it's kind of hard for me. I'm just kind of disappointed what recently happened with the whole previous commander-in-chief. You know, I think what happened, you know, we all make mistakes. I mean, everybody's made a mistake. And, of course, people will even try to cover that up. And here's the thing. A non-disclosure, in my opinion, is a normal thing. People make settlements. They make non-disclosures. Look what all happened with the whole JP Morgan. You know, some people don't realize JP Morgan doesn't quite have as many crimes against them for essentially manipulating the markets. And we all know they manipulate the markets. But why do they not have more against them? Is because they end up settling. They basically don't accept guilt. They make a settlement and they give money up for that reason. And then they end up, in some cases, putting non-disclosures out there if they can get away with that, because they don't want people knowing the truth of what is actually happening. And, you know, when it comes down to metals, it really just comes down to a certain amount of confidence in the dollar. If you're confident that the dollar is going to be here forever and it's always going to be the top dog, then essentially there's no point probably in buying precious metals. You know, but if you believe that the dollar is weakening and more people are going to shift to them, then it may be worth it. Now, I know someone out there might be saying, well, I don't think the dollar is going to crash, but I do think we're going to go more to solar. And if that happens, we're going to need more silver. And they wouldn't be wrong in saying that. However, I kind of have a belief that simple demand will always trump price. And what I mean by that is the demand, as the demand goes up, the price will go up. Obviously, if it costs a company more to make solar panels because the materials cost more, the price will go up. But on the flip side of that, if the price goes up too high, people are not going to want them. They're not going to buy solar panels. I mean, I wanted solar panels at one point, but I refused to buy them because I didn't want to spend that kind of money at the time. And most of that money was because of the battery packs, which a lot of solar companies will sell you a solar panel array and they'll tie it into the current grid that you're attached to. And your solar energy that you don't use will get put back on the grid and spin your meter backwards. And the stuff you use, you use. However, that's not where the real big returns are going to come in. The real big returns when it comes to gold and silver, in my personal opinion, that will come into play are going to be when people realize that what they have, which is paper money is becoming worth less and less and worthless. And when the worthless sets in, that's it. It's a game changer. Because if you've got something that's truly worthless, you would give it all away to have a little of something that is worth something. And a lot of people just can't realize that. And it disappoints me when I watch some YouTube videos. I actually watched a video this morning where he said, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. And in a way, I guess he's right. But here's the thing. It's going to happen slowly until the day that it doesn't. And at a certain point, some major event is going to change and it's going to recalibrate the prices of everything. And if anybody don't believe that, take a look at when they reevaluated gold. Take a look at, you know, what happens. I mean, instantly you see changes that are kind of devastating, or they essentially block your exit. People that are out there that are like, I'll see the signs. And I'm guilty of some stuff. Some of y'all know, because I'm a public person, I do have a safety deposit box at a bank. I have multiple of them. And I know right now, it's 11 minutes into the video. There's probably not a ton of people hearing this. But it's cheap, and I can put whatever I want in there. And I have a belief that I will see the writing on the wall, and the bank stocks will start to fall. I'll be able to catch it in time and totally get out. And I know there's probably a better way to do this. But on the flip side of that, because I'm a public person, I do look out for it. And I've done videos at my bank, and I got in trouble for it, both at the bank, and then I took a lot of heat here on YouTube. But at this point, we've all got to make decisions for ourselves and our family. So, but I have a belief that I'll be quick enough and I'll be able to, maybe get out of Dodge before something happens. However, it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. If the dollar changed overnight and became worthless because 5 or 6 countries, or however many now, because BRICS is really technically 5 countries, but they've added 7 more countries into it. So now that takes them up to 12. Then they've had even more countries that have applied that want to be a part of it. And even if they're not a part of it, they are following what's going on and they're positioning themselves. And that, I believe, is one of the major factors why India has repatriated their gold, because they know what's coming. And that's why I think China has been dumping treasury bonds, because they know what's happening. That's why a lot of people don't know. That's why Russia dumped a lot of their treasury bonds before they went into Ukraine. And they were positioning themselves. And so as more and more of that happens, it's going to weaken the dollar. I've used the analogy before about, I don't know if you ever watched the Amish, how they move a barn. They get like literally a couple hundred people. They all grab a side of the barn. They put these pegs in it. And literally 200 people all lift up at the same time. And it's amazing to see them move it. And then they just all slowly start walking to the new destination. But here's the problem. If people were all started to I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. If one person gets off, it's not the end of the world. But as more and more people start taking a break, or stepping back, or needing to rest, then essentially, who's left? There's not enough people left holding the bag, or the barn in this case, and the barn collapses. It falls. And it's destroyed in some cases because it fell so hard and busted stuff up. Well, the same thing could happen with any currency of the world. And so I think that's one of the big reasons why I stack, is because I recognize that. It's coming. It's coming. I know some people, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not licensed to give this advice. I'm just telling you my opinions. I think it's coming where we're seeing more and more fall. The interest rate is growing at a faster amount. What are we in for interest this year? Almost $800 billion. I had to think for a second. $800 billion. Think of it. By the end of the year, we'll have paid in $1 trillion in interest. The debt is rapidly growing, and it's not showing signs of coming back. for that reason, I want to be prepared. I want to be prepared. I want to have what I need, whether that be land, food, water, shelter, security. I don't talk a whole lot about the security aspect because, like I said earlier, it's a frowned on subject. You know, they don't want you buying pew-pews. And here's the thing. The pew-pews have a purpose. They do. And they've been around forever. And there's a reason why, I believe. And gold and silver has been around forever. And there's a reason why people respect it. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video. It's really just meant to be a package opening. But I kind of wanted to talk. I know a lot of people think gold and silver are going to be plunging. This is going to be a horrible month. I don't know how many videos I've seen where they're saying it's going to be a bad month for gold and silver. And maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. But I know a lot of people that were saying it was going to go under 20. Silver was going to go under $20, and they refused to buy, and then all of a sudden it shot up to 28, and then they had to buy at 28 or 30 or whatever. Slow and steady wins the race, guys and girls. So thank you all for watching. I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Keep stacking, my friends, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.